Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about two words: Spelljammer confirmed. All right, so I just want to talk about the hype around Spelljammer before it was actually confirmed, and when it was actually confirmed, and why the word Spelljammer confirmed became a joke and an agitation, right? Because it's kind of a big deal. All right, so let's talk about this. So first, Spelljammer was, of course, announced in April of 2022 from Dungeons and Dragons, officially on D&D Direct. D&D Direct proved to be a really spectacular event. It was real, right? They were like, hey, we're going to skip the noise. We're not going to, distribute information to third parties. We're just going to tell you, big important news very quickly and in a winsome way, and you're going to love it. And it worked. I've never seen Wizards of the Coast communicate more professionally, more productively, more powerfully than in D&D Direct, right? The actual announcement of two classic settings in 1 year is huge, right? So basically you have this situation now. However, that was the actual, and what's really crazy is people pretend that Wizards of the Coast is not listening to Twitter, or actually that Wizards of the Coast is not listening to the D&D community. Everybody knows Wizards pays high attention to Twitter. Like it's an open understanding that Twitter massively impacts what gets built in Dungeons and Dragons. And by the way, we ain't the only organization that gets massively impacted by Twitter. Twitter is getting bought by the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, and I'm going to collect I told you so. I guess I can't do that yet. I think that Elon Musk is buying Twitter because e-cars are finished. He knows it. He knows he's selling sugar water, right? Electronic cars, which he has the number one best company in the world for, they need cheap batteries to succeed. Nothing in the world indicates that we will have cheap batteries anytime soon. We literally cannot power a cell phone for a single day. What on earth makes anybody think we can power cars in cities on renewable energy? We cannot. Let the oil burn. Done. Finish. We got 400 years of it. Let's use it. Right? And I think Elon Musk is shifting to phase 2 because he knows Teslas are toys for the wealthy and nothing more, and will never be more. And there's no future in electronic cars. People want Mustangs and Ford F-150s, and Teslas were always a luxury for the wealthy, and they're never going to be anything more than that. All right, and that's why he's shifting to buying something of real import, and that thing is very real and very important to Dungeons and Dragons. We are going to have a more conservative Twitter base in 2023 under Elon Musk. That's going to be huge, okay? So you have all that going on, right? And so what would happen is there was this pattern of big channels going on their Twitter and saying, Spelljammer confirmed, right? And everybody's like, it's not confirmed. Wizards of the Coast has not officially said that this thing's coming out. And they're like, well, there's all this evidence. Look at this Unearthed Arcana. Look at this, they're building these minis now. Look at this art of a GIF, right? All coming from the official source. Spelljammer confirmed, right? And they said it so often, and then people would immediately drop in the comments and be like, hey, facts are facts. Don't say Spelljammer isn't confirmed if it's not confirmed, right? Because people were very, very dialed in and really wanted this to be real. And I get this. I'm like, hey, until this is real, shut your mouth, right? Do not say something is real until it's real. You don't have the authority to say Spelljammer confirmed. You don't, right? Wizards of the Coast does. There's an authority. There's a hierarchy, right? And one of the reasons why this was getting so fraught, right, is in America today, boy, oh boy, do we have problems with authority and hierarchy, right? Everybody's like, oh man, you leader types, you trying to keep us down, and people, and like, look at the Gen Zs and millennials, boy, man, they would rather chop off their own arm. They'd rather saw through their own arm than call themselves a leader. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it, right? They inherently detest authority and hierarchy, right? They're just like, we ain't having it, man. Like, we ain't down with all that, right? And they don't like authorities and leaders and hierarchies coming in and saying, this is the thing, right? This is authoritative, right? I'm saying it, and it's now real, and y'all can like start making decisions based upon that, right? And B. Dave Walters in the D&D Direct actually said as a joke, Spelljammer confirmed, and he laughed and he had a big smile and like he literally put his hands out like he's like, Spelljammer confirmed, and like, because like this became a real thing, right? Like, and I think what's really interesting here is the reason why there was so much like frustration and levity around Spelljammer confirmed is, one, we know, boy, oh boy, does the community want classic settings. They're like, we are so sick of Exandria and Candlekeep Mysteries. Can you give us a freaking real setting, right, in 5e? Which, you know, I get it. That gives, like, you know, old school fans, they're like, hey, everybody wants our old school settings. But it's also like a little shade on them. Like, they all exist in those old crusty books that you keep pointing us to, but nobody wants to play them there, right? So, like, we want the old in the new frame, right? So this Spelljammer confirmed, and the other, so there's a few things we can learn here, right? So we understand there is a just absolutely shocking demand for old school settings in the now rules, the D&D 5e rules, right? And people are just like very, very excited about what's coming, right? And then in addition to that, the other thing is that information is so valuable. And really Dungeons and Dragons collected their due for this period between April 2022 and August of 2022. There's this hopeful joy. And so like Teos Abadia did an amazing thread on Twitter where he actually just went up into his attic, brought down every Spelljammer product, adventures, box sets, novels. Like, it was incredible, right? Brought them all down and just took pictures and showed them on Twitter and actually annotated each one. And it is a beautiful exploration of the old content. And it was a really exciting thread that I was here for because I'm going to get it in August. And so there's this period of hope between when the product is announced and when the product arrives. And that is powerful. It is powerful, right? And I was just so excited to see it, and it's really, really exciting. And you know, and D&D owns that. They're like, you got 4 months of joy before this product hits, and then you're going to get a joy spike, right? Because your hope's going to turn to reality, or you're going to get a joy slap, right? And just like Chris Rock, your face is going to turn, and you're going to be stunned that this wasn't a good product. But right now, it's just hope and unicorn, unicorn breath, right? It's just, and it's exciting, and that Teos Abadia moment, there's 1,000 of them right now. Like, everybody who's ever touched, a Spelljammer box set is, giving you their take on it, and I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. So Spelljammer Confirmed really said a lot about the industry and what's happening. I was really fascinated by it, and and the reality, and the last message is, ain't nothing concerned until WotC says it. And wider than that, authorities are authorities, leaders are leaders, hierarchies are hierarchies, and it really don't care. It really don't matter what Gen Z and millennials want. Leadership is real, right? And right now, Wizards of the Coast is the leader of the tabletop role-playing game industry with their flagship Dungeons and Dragons. That is a fact. All that's my opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.